You know, despite low voter turnout, Cavalier Johnson made history, becoming the first elected black mayor of Milwaukee. And at 35 years old, he is one of the youngest mayors to serve the city. I asked him if he always wanted to hold a high office. He says he just loved learning, but it could be challenging because, well, for example, he went to 6 different elementary schools. Through it all, Johnson says he's always remained close emotionally and physically to the place he calls home.
I went to 19th and Center. That's where I lived at. So I know those challenges because I lived there. I experienced them. I spent my formative years in 53206.
I talked to a lady before the election. She said, I'm from 53206. I stayed. There are people in that zip code, people who are in those challenged areas of the city that see you now and think, great, what are you going to do for me? What's your answer to that?
I'm going to do the things that I talked about doing over the course of my campaign, making a city that first and foremost is safer, making a city that is stronger, and making a city that's more prosperous for everybody who lives here. When you lift the tide for those challenged neighborhoods, the ones that I spent my time growing up in, then you lift the tide for everybody. Last night at my victory party, one of the very first people that I spoke to was a 9-year-old black boy. 9-year-old kid who grew up in the same, or is growing up in the same sort of neighborhoods I grew up in. That little boy who was growing up in the most depressed, challenged neighborhoods in Milwaukee, he can see that in Milwaukee, there's a space for him too. And even in the highest office in city government, he can see his own reflection here. That's powerful. And that's the sort of message that I want young black boys and young black girls, young brown boys and young brown girls to take with them every single day, that they can do this too.
Is that a burden, so to speak, or does that motivate you to get stuff done?
It's certainly a motivator. I want them to feel comfortable in any neighborhood, regardless of what side of the viaduct it's on.
Mayor-elect Cavalier Johnson will be inaugurated tomorrow morning at the Harley-Davidson Museum. A reception is scheduled to start at 9 a.m., followed by the inauguration ceremony at 9:30. Once sworn in, Johnson will officially be Milwaukee's first black elected mayor.